From this moment on, you will now be known as Sharkbait.
Sharkbait! Ooh-ha-ha!
Welcome, brother Sharkbait.
Sharkbait! Ooh-ha-ha!
Enough with the Sharkbait.
Sharkbait! Ooh, but.
So what's up, everybody? This is D. Just taking a little shine time to show you guys progression of the tank. I know not a lot of you guys ask a lot of questions. How come you show the little tank so much and, contrast to showing the big tank? And one of the reasons being that, I work with a lot of different beginners and people starting out in the hobby, and it's really intimidating to see a full-blown tank that's set up, and the goal is always to accomplish that in X period of time. And I like showing this little tank because everything in the big tank starts out little. It's something to see the progression of things and to know that with time it can become full-blown, full size. But things that start out small progress, like this little guy here, my cardinal there, was a little guy. I had 3 of them. The other guys, fought until they kind of got outshined by this guy, because once again, this is a little tank and we try to do things in a little tank that we shouldn't. But things like SPS start out little and they can become big. If you look at my previous videos, you'll see that this little piece of Pavona, now that I'm focused, started out as a little itty bitty chip. A little itty bitty chip, and now look at it now. It's almost half the size, if not half the size, of this little skeleton that it's on. And that, my friend, is my lights cutting on. But with the right water conditions, you can accomplish these things without breaking your neck and getting a whole ton of equipment. Here you see some chalice pieces that I put on the little frag plug that I've obviously started to outgrow the frag plug. I don't do anything special with this tank other than dosing 2-part alkalinity and calcium. I also started adding the magnesium because the salt mix I used to use, Coral Pro, was really high in magnesium, and I'm using regular salt, instant ocean salt, which is a little lower in the magnesium. This piece here is really interesting because I didn't even know that when cleaning the tank one day, I broke a piece off of this, which started out as a little itty bitty paper, what I call a potato chip, like this one did. I was cleaning the glass and I actually broke a little chip off, even smaller, and it actually started growing within the frag rack. So just regular fish tank maintenance can keep your tank going. I don't have a calcium react on here. I have a little itty bitty, here you go, Reef octopus skimmer, little itty bitty one. At first I didn't have one on this tank, and I could go without one on this tank if I wanted to. Regularly changing the filter floss. I don't use filter socks. People love them, so I won't knock them, and they are excellent at doing what they do. But I have a ton that I carry pre-cut filter floss, and I change them every couple of days. I just changed this one a minute ago, and you can already see that there's some detritus and crap build up because I just fed the tank this morning. And I'll probably do a water change today because I haven't done one in about, I'd say about 3 weeks. But keeping this area clean, your little overflow, if you have a sump on your tank, keep it clean. This one was cleaned last week, and you already see I put the magnesium in there. You can already see where the magnesium that didn't dissolve is still in there, which is why you should dissolve your stuff in water. I was being lazy, so I didn't do it. It builds up, and these little areas get dirty, and that's what leads to algae. So I'll go in there with my little blower here, blow that off, clean it up. See it blowing into the tank now? That is why you don't want to do what I just did. You want to dissolve your stuff in water before you add it to the tank. But the good thing about keeping things simple is if that was a big old sump, what I just did in 2 seconds would have took me about maybe half an hour, an hour. Clean the little sump area, make sure that there's no algae in your sump, which will lead to algae in your tank. And if you look at my video from like 3 months ago when I had that crazy algae bloom, it was a ton of junk in here. As you can see now, glass is clean down there, my heater is clean, but I do get sediment in there, and if you keep cleaning it, your tank will stay clean. And the coral will grow. I just fed these guys some Reef roids, which, thanks to Ryan, I am a supporter. Polylabs, you got my vote, because I definitely see progress in coral growth. From 10 minutes ago, you can see my pallies opening up. The zoas are open. These guys are always extending sweepers. Pavonas, the chalices are nice and coloring up. Although I have one back there underneath these waving zinnias that's really growing. But the zinnia's kind of crowding it out. Whereas the ones down there, if you look from a couple of months ago, you can see the progression. Those chalices have grown at least double the size. You can't even see the frag plugs that they're on. So that one is at least double the size of the frag plug. This one, excellent growth. This guy loves photo bombing. I gotta come up with a name for you. He loves getting in the camera. He loves to know what I'm looking at. The fish load, with the exception of the tang that I have in here, I have my coal tang in here, is pretty light. I got my 2 clowns, my tang. My buddy Freddie, my algae blenny, died about 3 months ago, I think, when the tank went through that crazy drop or whatever was going on with it. I didn't see my boy no more. I'm really upset about that. But I did add my urchin here. And I've really gotten attached to these urchins. They are like amazing creatures. I mean, they keep the rock spotless, but they will get in the way of the fish. So if you got a small system, you really got to think about adding an urchin. This one is a long spiny. You can get a short, like a pink urchin, or one of those pin cushion urchins, as I call them, because they look like little pin cushions. They're really, really interesting creatures. I'm still doing some research on the lifespan of them, because there's not too much written about them. But this guy's all over the tank, as you can see now, all over the tank. I love seeing a fish bump into him. It's the funniest shit you could possibly imagine, pardon my French. He hangs over here with my shrimp. I have a scarlet cleaner over there, and I have a blood red in the corner, if you can see the antenna. I had quite a few these, what you call it? Now I forget the name of them. The cleaner shrimp back in the days of this tank. But these guys kind of muscled them out. And one thing when the shrimp are in your tank, I know we don't really test a lot for them, but at least once a month I'll add 1 drop of iodine solution, which I carry here. Lugols. The Lugol solution, which I've always done since keeping them. It helps them with their chemical balance when they molt. It helps them develop their shells again. Like, you'll see these guys have short antennas in some tanks. When you buy them in the store, you'll see they have really short antennas. It's easier. It's usually from them shipping, like in a high ammonia or unhealthy environment. But when they get comfortable and your water chemistry is really, really balanced, you'll see the antennas are really long and healthy, and it's beautiful. Which is another reason why I film this tank a lot, because it's easy to capture the animals without them shooting all over the place in the big tank. The big tank is kind of hard to film. The candy cane has been doing good. I moved it to this place here. I secured it to the rock. My glue wasn't holding, so thank you, my buddy. I know who he is. Knows he is from out there in the UK. From his contest, I got that Epo putty. These guys were knocking stuff down on a regular. If you remember, I mentioned I had to put a dab of my cheap crazy glue stuff, cyanocoagulant glue, my dollar store glue, just to keep the frags from being moved around on the rack. I've cleaned house, gave away probably 90% of the soft coral that were in here because they were just growing too fast. The tank is too small to have the dense population of coral that I had in here. It was like crazy. Pocillopora is looking awesome. One thing I gotta say is I'm playing with the lights because this is a 2-channel. This is an old Ocean Revive light. The newer ones have like the 4-channel adjustment. So I'm playing with those to get some different color spectrum in the coral, some different color growth. But this has been growing quite nicely. That one was knocked down. I had it stuck over there, but my clownfish decided that since the pulsing zinnia wasn't on this rock, I had probably a 10-inch square of pulsing zinnia. I took all of that out. Since that went, guess what I just noticed? I was going to say I had Kenya tree in this coral, and look what's growing behind that coral again. A little sprout of Kenya tree that has been gone for months, and look at it trying to come back. Okay, I'm gonna probably go in with the tweezers and pull that out because I don't want that to take over again. You can keep Kenya tree, but do know that it spreads fast once it's happy. But back to this, they knocked this little piece down, which kind of damaged it a bit. But since securing it in this little shady spot underneath this huge Pavona piece, one of my first pieces I put in here, it is like really thick and awesome. This is starting to come back. I see some new growth. And just as a testament to that glue, it hasn't been knocked down yet. Now I'm seeing a little bit of algae growth on the glue, which I like. I hate the look of white glue in my tank. I got a little piece of this that broke off. I don't even see, the part where it broke off looks like it grew back. Let me zoom out, it's hard to see. I think it was there. It was a little piece, and I stuck it on with the little piece of glue. And look at that growing back nicely. I hope it grows into a full-size Pocillopora. But it looks healthy and nice, and once again, a testament to a healthy tank. Nothing complicated. Simple chalices, Pavonas. I have my frog spawn here, which I moved because it was in that corner where the urchin likes to squeeze in, and he was like constantly moving it and rotating it in order to get to the corner. But this has been happy here. It's about triple the size when it opens up. The lights just cut on, so it's opening up now, and the shrimp is nagging the hell out of them. But I had to move that because this guy was constantly using this as a highway coming through here. So now it's out of the way and looking good. I have a little piece of Monty under here in this little shaded spot. I've been moving it around. It was actually under that rock where actually I noticed another piece of chalice is, if you can see it. It was doing well under the rock. I moved it here. I think it liked that shaded spot better than over here, so I just kind of pushed it under the egg crate, and I see the little bit of polyp extension coming back. So we'll see how that does. But I'm noticing another piece of chalice that I left there growing nicely. So just sometimes you got to leave stuff alone, see how it does. And this video is running kind of long, so just giving you guys updates. Once again, tank chemistry 0.026. I keep this a little high. The alkalinity is pretty low. It's about, I think it was about 5 last time I checked. I'm going to check it again later. It was between 4 and 5, which is half of what it should be. But everything's doing okay, so I don't stress it. Everything is showing new growth. The temperature, I'm running this titanium heater in here, which is my favorite kind of heater. But you can see it's about 76. It's in the safe zone. These tanks are running cool. There's no heater in here, and my basement temperature is pretty chilly. So you can see this, if I can get a shot of that, is room temperature about 68, 70. So you see these guys are doing just fine in here. They'll probably spawn if I raise the temperature, but I'm not in a hurry to do that. I may do that probably in January when the temperature will drop a little bit more down here. But that's the tank parameters. 2-part. I used old school magnesium down here, Tropic Marin, which is old school if you can even find it anymore. I have bulk Reef supplied magnesium upstairs. I'm just using the 2 of them to see which one works. Here's my 2-part calcium solution. 2-part alkalinity solution is in that bottle, and that's it. Regular changing of the filter pad, just keeping the tank healthy, cleaning the glass. These guys left a lot of uneaten food up there. I'm not going to worry about that because it'll either go into the overflow or they'll eat it later. My shrimp will eat it. Fed them a little too much, but that's it. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate your support. If you got any comments, leave them below. I may or may not start another tank for Rico's contest. I love Rico. Shout out to Rico's Reef tanks and all the peoples out there. Because I was going to do a nano, but I don't think I want to do another Reef tank. I'm looking for a Seahorse project. I'm looking to challenge myself on something I haven't done before. So if you guys don't know about Rico's Nano Reef contest, check that out on his channel. Till next time, I'm going to zoom out. Go get me some pancakes. It's breakfast time here in Brooklyn. And love, peace, and hair grease. See ya. See ya. See ya. I'm out.